You stayed longer than you should have. You knew that. What you have not yet asked is why the length felt appropriate at the time. Not why they were convincing, not what they did to keep you. Why you, specifically you, with your specific history, found the uncertainty familiar enough to live inside it. Why the dynamic that was slowly reducing you still felt, on its best days, like the closest thing to being truly known you had experienced. That is not a trauma response. That is a recognition. And the thing doing the recognizing was not new. The Gnostics called it the architecture of the passions, the specific emotional structure built into the human psyche before consciousness arrived to examine it, and called it the complex. The name is less important than what both traditions agreed on. It was present before the relationship began. The relationship did not install it. The relationship found it, fit itself around it, and called that fit love. You did not end up in that relationship. Something in you navigated toward it. This video is about what that something is, and what it has been waiting for you to see. Open the Apocryphon of John, the Latin translation, pages 23 through 51, and read the passage in which the demiurge constructs the human psyche. It is a disturbing passage and almost never quoted in full, because what it describes is not a clean act of imprisonment. It is an act of incompetent imitation. The demiurge sees a luminous image, the image of perfect humanity, reflected down from the pleroma through the waters above him. He does not understand it. He cannot perceive its source. But he wants to replicate it, because replication is the only creative act available to a being who cannot originate. So he and the archons each contribute a portion of their own nature to the construction of the human form. Each archon deposits inside the body the specific passion that governs him: fear, grief, pleasure, ignorance, envy. Not as external impositions, as constitutive elements, as the raw material from which the human psyche is assembled. This means, and I want you to hold this carefully, the archons did not enter a completed human being and install their programs afterward. They are the programs. The passions are not intrusions, they are the architecture. The human psyche, as the Gnostics understood it, was built from the archonic passions, not invaded by them. This changes everything about what healing actually requires. Jung described this same structure in clinical language, without the mythological framework, in his work on the autonomous complex. A complex, in Jungian depth psychology, is not a pattern of thought. It is a semi-autonomous functional unit within the unconscious, built around an emotionally charged core, usually laid down before the age of 8, operating with its own logic, its own trigger conditions, its own emotional weather. It does not need permission from the conscious personality to activate. It activates when specific conditions are met, and it has been waiting, in some cases, for decades. The narcissist does not create your complex. The narcissist meets the conditions it has been waiting for. This is not a metaphor. Jung documented case after case in which patients were drawn to relationships that precisely replicated the specific emotional structure of their earliest wound, not because they were weak, not because they lacked discernment, but because the complex inside them was organized around that structure and recognized it as home. The recognition is not conscious, it is somatic. It is the specific feeling, in the first weeks of the relationship, of something clicking into place, of being, finally, known. What felt like recognition was the complex recognizing its conditions. What felt like being seen was being seen by something that already knew exactly where you were vulnerable. Here is where I want to use a framework almost no one applies to narcissistic abuse, because it is the most accurate map I have found for what actually happens to people inside these relationships and after them. The alchemist divided the great work of transformation, the magnum opus, into 4 stages. The first is the Nigredo, the blackening, the complete putrefaction of the prima materia, the raw, undifferentiated substance of the self. The Nigredo is not a metaphor for hard times. It is a description of what happens when the ego structure that organized your life is so thoroughly dismantled that you no longer know what you are. This is what a narcissistic relationship does, systematically and with terrible efficiency over time. It erodes every reference point the self used to confirm its own existence. Your memory, your perception, your sense of your own desires, your friendships, your professional identity, until you are left with what the alchemists called the massa confusa, the confused mass. The material before it has been organized into a self. This is not only destruction, this is the opening of the work. Every alchemical text insists. Without the Nigredo, no transformation is possible. You cannot build the new thing inside the old container. But here is what the alchemical texts also insist, and what almost no one says about narcissistic abuse recovery. The Nigredo has a failure state. The failure state is not remaining in the darkness. The failure state is leaving the Nigredo prematurely, recoalescing around the old structure before the dissolution has finished, dressing the wound with a new vocabulary, calling survival transformation. The modern recovery industry is, structurally, a Nigredo interruption service. Within weeks of leaving a narcissistic relationship, a framework is offered, a name for what happened, a community of fellow survivors, a map of the stages of healing. These are not without value, but they carry a specific danger. They provide a new identity to organize around before the old identity has been fully examined. And the old identity is precisely what made the prison fit. The second stage of the magnum opus is the albedo, the whitening. Classical alchemical texts describe it as a recovery of innocence on the far side of dissolution. Not the innocence of ignorance, but the innocence of something that has passed through fire and no longer carries the weight of its accumulated history in the same way. The albedo requires one specific thing that most recovery frameworks actively avoid: an honest examination of the complex that predated the relationship, not an examination of what the narcissist did. That examination is available everywhere, and it answers a question that, ultimately, cannot free you. The question that can free you is narrower and harder. What was the specific emotional structure inside me that this relationship recognized? What did the prison's architecture tell me about the architecture I brought with me? This is not blame. The archons deposited their passions into the human structure without consent. The complex was built from material that was not chosen, but the human being who carries an unexamined complex is not the same as a human being who has entered the albedo, who has looked at the complex, traced its origins, understood what it required, and begun the slow work of no longer being organized by it. The Gnostic term for the divine spark recognizing its own nature is gnosis. Jung's term for the progressive differentiation of the self from its accumulated conditioning is individuation. These are not the same process, but they share a structural requirement. You cannot complete either one while you are still organized around an identity built from the material you are trying to see clearly. The standard explanation is that you were targeted because of your light, because of your empathy, because narcissists are drawn to kind people. Every version of this explanation shares one structural feature. The cause is located entirely outside you. The relationship is explained without requiring you to examine the part of you that the relationship was organized around. I am going to ask a different question, not to assign fault, but because this is the only question that leads somewhere the other explanations do not. What was already present in you, not as a weakness, not as a failure, but as an unfinished piece of psychological work, that made this relationship's specific architecture feel like recognition rather than danger. For some people, it is a relationship with a parent who required them to manage emotional states that were not theirs to manage, and so they entered adulthood with an unconscious expectation that love requires self-erasure. For some, it is an early experience of intermittent affection, warmth given and withdrawn without pattern. that installed in them a neurological association between anxiety and love. For some, it is something else entirely. The specific content varies. The structural dynamic is consistent. The complex inside was organized around a pattern, and the narcissistic relationship delivered that pattern with a precision that felt, at its best moments, like being finally understood. The Apocryphon of John describes the demiurge examining the image of perfect humanity and constructing a body around it without comprehending what he was imitating. The narcissist does something structurally similar. They read you accurately, your need for validation, your tolerance for ambiguity, your capacity for loyalty under conditions that do not merit it, and they construct a relationship around that reading, not because they are masterminds, because they are organized constitutively around reading and exploiting the gap between who you present yourself as and what you actually need. The gap was there before they arrived. Understanding the gap is the albedo. Here is the final point, and it is the one I find most extraordinary in the Apocryphon of John. The divine plan for the recovery of the human spark does not require the demiurge's cooperation. The higher powers descend into the lower cosmos, not around the demiurge's creation, but through it, inside the very body the demiurge is assembled, using the very passions the archons deposited as the raw material for a transformation the demiurge cannot perceive and cannot prevent. The rescue operation uses the prison as its vehicle, applied to what we are examining. The narcissistic relationship does not deliver you to transformation in spite of its damage. It delivers you to transformation because of what the damage reveals, not the damage the narcissist inflicted. That is external and well documented. The damage that was already present in the structure of the complex, which the relationship's pressure forced to the surface. What the relationship stripped away, your certainty about your own perception, your confidence in your own judgment, your ability to trust your felt sense of a situation. These are not only losses, they are also the dismantling of the specific ego functions that had been organized around the complex for decades. The Nigredo, arrived at through the hardest possible path. The demiurge is not your initiator by intention. The prison did not intend to become the door, but in the Gnostic understanding of how the lower cosmos operates, intention is not required. The structure produces the effect regardless of what the builder understood. Let me be precise about what this video has argued, because it is not what most content in this space argues, and the difference matters. First, the Apocryphon of John does not describe the demiurge as an external invader who entered an intact human being and installed his programs. He built the body around a blueprint he did not understand, from material that was already his. The passions are architectural. The complex predates the narcissist. Second, the narcissistic relationship does not create your vulnerability. It recognizes it. The specific recognition that felt in the early months like being finally known was the complex inside you meeting the conditions it was organized around. Understanding what those conditions were is the only question that leads somewhere the relationship itself cannot take you. Third, the alchemical Nigredo is not only the destruction the relationship caused, it is also what the destruction makes possible, the dissolution of the ego structure that was built around the unexamined complex. Most recovery frameworks interrupt this process prematurely. The albedo requires allowing the dissolution to finish. Fourth, the rescue in the Gnostic framework runs through the demiurge's own architecture without his knowledge. The material the narcissist destroyed is often the same material that was obscuring the question the complex had been waiting for you to ask. And fifth, you were not targeted because of your light. You were met by a system whose architecture was compatible with yours. Understanding the architecture you brought is not self-blame. It is the beginning of the only freedom that the relationship itself cannot provide, and that no subsequent relationship can either. 3 books made this video. The Apocryphon of John. Use the Latin translation, no other. Jung's Psychology and Alchemy, Chapter 3 specifically, and the tripartite tractate from the Nag Hammadi Library. All three are linked in the description below. The question I want to leave you with, not as a wound, but as a compass. Before the relationship began, what were you already waiting to be told about yourself, and why did it require a demiurge to tell it?